Alrighty, good morning everybody. Hope everyone is having a great day so far. We got ourselves an update here on the weather. Things are going to be a little interesting over the next couple of days as we are watching a severe weather episode that is forecasted to cause maybe a little bit of problems out there for portions here of the central country. Also, before we dive into anything here, look at this. We got ourselves a little bit of snow, a bit of upper level snowfall. You know, this is not really a big deal for a lot of people though, but this is for upper elevations there, especially across areas like western Wyoming as well as Utah. It's definitely definitely is pretty interesting to start to see our first snowfall of the year already starting to kick off here. Anyways, let's go ahead and see who we have ourselves here for today. We're gonna hop over here to the main screen real quickly. Let's see here. So who do we have here for today? We got ourselves Chicken. We have Crystal. We have let's see here. We have Scott, we have Z, we have Leon, we have ZRV, we have Pilot, we have Lord Andrew. Let's see here. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Once again, glad to have y'all here for today. On today's table, there is a severe weather event scheduled for today. Anywhere across the dark green and the yellow, you guys are at risk here for severe weather today. It's a possibility we could see, a little bit of severe weather activity. The greatest probability today, though, will be across eastern portions of New Mexico into basically western Texas. That is where the biggest risk here overall. That is where the risk of severe weather is mostly at today. Not too populated out here, but here's the thing. The system overall will be tracking relatively to the northeast. Tomorrow is the day we got to look out for. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do live coverage today. I mean, there is all hazards, as we are going to be seeing here as a possibility. A couple isolated tornadoes, hail damaging winds, but tomorrow, it seems like the biggest day. It seems like tomorrow is going to be the day that we really need to be looking out there for. So, tornado probability as of now, 2% chance here. It's nothing absolutely crazy, but it does cover a lot of areas here, all the way down from basically west central Texas, all the way up through portions of western Oklahoma, throughout portions of, Kansas, and into Nebraska here overall. Whenever it comes to, the probability here of, hail, a significant hail chance, across this this orange, circling area here, that is where we have a really good shot tomorrow of seeing some really large hail. We're talking potentially over 2 inches in diameter, seems to be a good possibility. So we'll need to look out there for that. Let's see here. What's up, Crystal and Michael? What's up, you guys? Let's see here. Why is it so central Florida? Let's see here. We have a sunny day. So right now, there's a little bit of precipitation starting to roll into Florida, if you can see that on the right-hand side, or on the eastern coast, I should say. Typical Florida things. This is pretty normal for Florida, but yeah, there's a little bit of stuff going on right now. I mean, overall verdict is we have a pretty big ridge of high pressure out here. I mean, across the eastern country, it is actually relatively fine. A lot of high pressure, a lot of sunny skies, overall nice days, not much precipitation, but out west, that's a big difference. We have ourselves a low pressure system basically kicking up right here. You can actually see it if we zoom into the Rockies here. If you look closely, you'll actually be able to notice how this thing is rotating counterclockwise. So you see that, how we have all this precipitation pushing north on the eastern side, and on the south side you can kind of see how it's lagging behind a bit and it actually slightly pushing south. So that is the low area of low pressure we're looking at. That is the main driver of all this severe weather here between today and mostly tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow is going to be the big day overall regarding severe weather. All hazards, as we mentioned, is a problem, so we're going to have to be watching out for that here. It actually looks like we have a little bit of thunderstorm activity actually right now across Minnesota, central Minnesota here. I don't think we're in any big risk here for Minnesota today. Today's highest risk is a slight risk. Once again, yeah, you can actually see this is barely even in the thunderstorm outlook area, which is interesting considering we're seeing that pop off. But once again, today's biggest risk will be across like western Texas into portions here of New Mexico. That is the biggest threat here. Now later on tomorrow, though, like I said, tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow we got a really large slight risk, and it moves into more populated areas here overall. Let's see here. Good morning, Robin. Hope you're doing good. See, Dawn says hello from Western Maryland. What's up, Dawn? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. Lord Andrew says thanks. You're very welcome. Let's see here. Hi. Is Dallas-Fort Worth potentially going to be in a threat later this week? So as of now, there is no threat. Let me check day 3. Yeah, so day 3. So basically for Wednesday. Yeah, since today is Monday. So day 3 would be Wednesday, so that's 3 days from now. So you count today. Today's day 1. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is day 2. Then day 3 is Wednesday. So Wednesday, there's a threat for a couple thunderstorms out there, but honestly, it's not supposed to be anything crazy. We're not expecting any severe weather to happen for you for Wednesday, and as of right now, there's no risks overall for you. However, to the west of you, by Wichita Falls, Abilene, Midland, kind of just south of Lubbock overall, there's a shot for a little bit of severe weather out there as we have a marginal risk here. Level 1 severe weather threat, but really is not a big deal. That low pressure system we were talking about here is going to be relatively well gone at that point. It's going to be somewhere up in basically south central Canada at that point. Right now, that low pressure system is right over the Rockies, and this thing's going to be working its way up here to the northeast over the next couple of days. And as this low pressure system appears across the central plains, that's going to be driving this cold front down here, which is going to be allowing for all types of hazards, with severe thunderstorm activity and all of that stuff. But yeah, once again, tomorrow's the big day. Now, tomorrow's biggest threat is for portions of western Texas still, but it actually worked its way up into portions of western Oklahoma, central western Kansas, and a lot of central Nebraska. I believe Nebraska is where the heaviest of the populations is at for the most part. Between Kansas and Nebraska, it's pretty decent. There's not too many people, I don't believe, that live out in these regions. There's some people, obviously, but the most of the population for tomorrow we got to look out for is across the central plains, considering that's where the more the population is overall. But give me a minute, guys. We're going to hop you guys over here to the main screen here. We're going to take a look at today's severe weather threat, and then we'll take a look at tomorrow's. We'll do the breakdown, all that stuff. So same map. Here's today's severe weather threat. We do have a 2% chance for tornadoes. Today's greatest tornado probability will be across eastern New Mexico overall. Western Texas, it's possible we could get a few spin-up tornadoes. Definitely can't rule that out. Damaging winds, that's something we got to really be looking out there for. 15% chance here for some damaging wind gusts, ranging between 60 and 70 miles an hour. In terms of wind gusts, seems to be the good possibility. And same thing for hail, really not a different area. It's pretty much the same area for hail and damaging winds today. Hail potentially up to 1 to 2 inches in diameter seems to be a good possibility. Now, like I said, tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow's the day we got to really look out for, okay? So, obviously, Nebraska, we have Kansas, we have Oklahoma and Texas. Now, tornado probability is still 2% chance, same probability as it is today, but it actually covers a bit more areas here. We're talking over 1 million people at risk here for a few isolated tornadoes here. These are some of the biggest cities that is included, in tomorrow's tornado threat. So like Dodge City, Kansas, Garden City, those regions that are, fairly populated is at risk here for a few isolated tornadoes. Now the odds are pretty low. Damaging winds, 15% shot. Really good probabilities here for some damaging wind gusts, likely remaining or ranging, I should say, in the zone of around 60 to 70 miles an hour in terms of wind gusts, a possibility. Now, hail, that's what I was telling you guys about. Tomorrow's big threat is hail. We got to watch out for some large hail tomorrow. Especially across portions here of that black shaded area here. This is that significant, or that hatched area, we call it. That is the region where we are expecting to potentially be seeing, hail up to 2+ inches in diameter. Could be a possibility. So, obviously, got to watch out for your property across those regions there, and across the significant region. Dodge City, Kansas, Garden City, Kansas. I mean, like I said, it seems like Kansas and Nebraska has like the heaviest population out of tomorrow's threat. But still, it's definitely something we need to watch out for. I'm planning on initiating coverage tomorrow because I think this event will need it. Today, I'm still debating on if I cover today or not. I mean, it seems like the threat is mostly in a non-populated area. I mean, we're talking less than 500,000 people inside the slight risk here today. So, I mean, not too many people out here, but we'll definitely consider it. We'll definitely consider it. I mean, I have a lot of stuff going on right now with my moving process and stuff. I move in 5 days, so. Obviously I got to be preparing for that too, and getting things ready. But I'll see. I'll see if it looks like it's going to become crazy. I will definitely try to cover it here later on. But tomorrow you can certainly count on me tomorrow being live here, unless I'm sick or something, which I hope not. But we'll see. But yeah, here later on today, it looks like, possibly around, 4 or 5 o'clock or so, it looks like we're going to start to get some of those initiation, a bit of that initiation thunderstorm activity popping off across, portions here of Colorado into New Mexico, into portions of western Texas eventually. The main threat seems to kick off between like 3 p.m. Eastern, and it looks like still around midnight, possibly still some storms could happen. But then later on tomorrow, you can kind of see another line forming along that cold front here we're talking about. So as that low pressure system in general, works its way up here, you can actually see it. It's right here. So as that low pressure system works its way continually to the northeast here, it's actually going to spark a cold front here, which is already starting to kind of take place. But we're going to see a bunch of thunderstorms popping off here. It seems like, according to the NAM model, it seems like that Kansas and Nebraska seems to be like the most heaviest likelihood of seeing severe weather out there. So you can actually see by tomorrow evening. It seems like it's really a late afternoon evening event. So tomorrow, that's something we need to look out for. Let's see here. Any threat for Michigan for this week? So no, not right now. There's no risk out there for severe weather as of now. Let's see here. What's up, Bill? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. See here. Chelsea says good morning from East Tennessee. What's up, Chelsea? Hope you're doing good. But yeah, so definitely gotta look out for it. Let's see here. MP says good morning, all. What's up? Hope you're doing good, MP. Glad to have you here. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to watch out there for that. Let's see. We have the 12 Zulu HRRR run. Honestly kind of shows the same thing overall, just a big line of storms popping off. It seems like the main intensity, the strongest part of the event tomorrow will probably be around evening time. So that is something we need to look out there for. Is around evening time for severe weather. Once again, it seems like areas by Nebraska, Kansas, overall seems to be like the heaviest impacted area here overall for the most part. Let's actually go ahead and bring you guys over here to the models. I was actually browsing the models here earlier. Overall, we're going to bring this up. So this is the instability, the available energy in the atmosphere. And honestly, tomorrow, it definitely seems like we are going to have a lot of energy available, really across a lot of the central United States here. So all of those colors, that's a lot of what we call instability. We call this actually ML CAPE, which is convective available potential energy. So think of this as the fuel. Think of this as the juice that storms need to kick off and thrive. So, and you can see the heaviest amount of juice, according to it, is right in here, right across that green area. We measure this in joules per kilogram, which, this is pretty high. Typically for severe weather events, you want your CAPE over 1,000, and you can see the CAPE is over 2,000 in most areas here. So there's definitely enough instability, definitely enough energy in the atmosphere, so I'm not worried about that one bit. In terms of winds, this is across the lower levels of the atmosphere here. A couple thousand feet up, probably 4,000 feet up or so. The winds are the strongest up in portions here throughout like central Kansas and all. So if storms are firing off there, typically if you have a pretty decently strong jet stream, over that instability, that could warrant a couple tornadoes, in which that is why we actually have that risk out there. And you can actually see there's a slight turn in what we call the hodograph. So that basically is showing us that, the wind direction is changing with altitude. So here's the surface. So this is the surface of the atmosphere. So basically ground level, and this is about 15 kilometers up. So this is measuring the scale from the side view. So at the surface, the winds are kind of moving to the north. You can see the little wind barbs, and then they change directions as you go up in altitude. So the wind direction changes the higher you go up in the atmosphere, which, that change in wind direction and all that stuff would allow for possibly a few tornadoes. I think we possibly, if you want to know my opinion, I think we probably could see a 5% risk issue tomorrow. I definitely think that's a good shot. Also, pretty mid-level, pretty dry mid-level atmospheric conditions will be available for some potentially large hail, which we already have that significant hail threat in place there. And decape, downwards energy basically in the downdraft, which would definitely support some pretty large damaging winds potentially being a possibility. So that is just a random sound, and we just grabbed here overall. But it definitely seems like that is going to be a problem in terms of all hazards here overall. So we'll definitely need to be watching out here for for severe weather here over the next over the next couple of days. And once again, tomorrow seems to be the biggest impact day. Like I said, we have 2 levels of severity. Actually, from a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst and 1 being the lowest, but still potentially life-threatening. Reason I say that is because severe thunderstorms are classified to cause potentially some damage. Or even impact life. I mean, honestly, I hate to say that, but it's possible. But the higher the number, the worse it is. And we have a level 2 out of 5 on the maximum threat tomorrow, which is the level 2 is across the yellow. Level 1, the first level of severity, is across the green. So obviously, you have a better chance of seeing severe weather across the yellow here versus the area in green. So keep that in mind, giving you a 15% chance of seeing severe weather across the yellow and a 5% chance of seeing severe weather across the green. So that is the overall probabilities here. So the highest probability you can actually see is ultimately across the yellow, which somewhere in here there's going to be a decent amount of severe activity that's expected to happen overall. And but that's what's going on here. Now, real quickly, I want to show you guys something that's pretty interesting. So whenever it comes to the current conditions, I started doing this last live stream. I think I'm going to start explaining more things here. So I'm just drawing a little bit of a map here. Let me actually go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and remove that. But I want to show you guys something pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and do that now. So, all right, here we go. So what's going on in the current weather right now is we have 2 low-pressure systems. We have that one across the west. This is the main driver, the main severe weather event that's going to be kicking off here is from that. And we have a big, what we call, ridge of high pressure. So this is kind of the, the overall pattern, what we're seeing here. So the jet stream is doing a little something like this. It's actually going up, it's going around, and it's diving back down. So that's the pattern of the jet stream. So that dip in the jet stream is going to allow for the system. Obviously, the low is going to be working its way to the northeast, but it's going to be dipping down and allowing for those winds to increase. And so on that dip there, that's where your severe weather ingredients are going to be at. So that is what we need to look out for. Is that big dip there. And as that works its way here to the east, northeast, obviously that's going to be moving that cold front around, and it's going to be causing potential severe weather. Let's see. What's up, Carlos? Hope you're doing good. Let's see. The storm system is going to be brutal this week. Yeah, I mean, it could definitely have some impacts. Like I said, hail, damaging winds, couple isolated tornadoes, unfortunately, seems to be a possibility. Unfortunately. Let's see here. The Odd One says, "Hey, Andrew. Hey, guys. What's up? Odd One, hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here." But anyways, like I said, definitely got to watch out here for tomorrow. So real quickly, let's hop over to the tropics real quickly. We got one storm we're watching. This is, I always forget the name. Let's see. This is, which one was this? Philippe, I think? Philippe. I think I actually remembered it this time. It's not Philippi. It's Philippe. I'm pretty sure. So we have Tropical Storm Philippe right now. Currently sustained winds of 50 miles an hour with gusts up to 65. This system is really close to the Lesser Antilles right now. Actually a little bit closer for liking. Let's see. I don't think they have any tropical storm watches or anything like. Oh, they do. They actually have one tropical storm watch for one of the islands here. Look at that. So, okay. So they do. That is a weird, really weird wind field. That's where the tropical storm wind history was estimated to be. Anyways, but right now, we actually do have a tropical storm warning, too. I don't know exactly the island here, but we got a tropical storm watch and a tropical storm warning. So, but this system's getting pretty look at the track of this thing. Definitely has a pretty odd track to it. You could say that. But But anyways, but yeah, no, this system is currently a tropical storm. It is actually forecasted to, actually turn into a hurricane later on. It looks like it's going to achieve that hurricane status probably around the 6th. Seems to be the best probability as of right now. So, yeah, so as we work our way out here towards, right around the morning of, let's see here, hold on, let me double check on that. Yeah, so the morning of the 6th, that is when we are going to be seeing this thing likely in the range of a hurricane. Probably low end, Category 1 hurricane seems to be the good probability. We have another system. This is post-tropical Rena. This system is just completely dying out. It's the last time we're going to mention this system because it's probably going to fade out later today. But in terms of, like I said, Philippe, that's, something to watch out for. The system's going to be relatively just east of, Bermuda. So Bermuda, yeah, not really worried about you. I'm probably not going to see much of anything. At most, I would say maybe some mild swelling, maybe a little bit of rip currents could be a possibility. But, ultimately, it's not going to be that crazy of a system. Especially not the one like we've seen a couple times this year. We've seen some pretty nasty tropical cyclones already this year. And, overall, this one is going to be one of the more milder ones overall. Not as strong and, not really impacting much of any areas here. Let's see here. What's up, Chauncey? Hope you're doing good. Let's see. Brandon says, looks like San Angelo, Texas is right smack in the middle, yellow this time. Well, stay safe out there, Brandon. Yeah, so to tomorrow's threat, it seems like so San Angelo is actually in the level 1 threat and barely. You're barely in that severe weather threat here tomorrow. Across the yellow, that's the best probability. But you, my friend, yeah, no, San Angelo is actually in the dark green. No, the main threat's a little bit more to the west of you overall. Like I said, the yellow, that's the greatest probability for severe weather tomorrow. So we'll have to watch out for most of those regions there. Now, whenever it comes to today, like I mentioned, across the dark green, there's still a severe weather threat, but the yellow is the biggest threat here for today and tomorrow. Like I said, today's threat, the biggest probability will be across like eastern New Mexico in general. So that's that. So that's kind of what we're seeing here overall, as a result from this low pressure system that's currently over like Utah right now. So that is currently what's going on. What's up, Kayla? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. But but yeah, that's what's going on, guys. I just wanted to mention that in terms of the tropics and the overall severe weather activity. Like I said, other than this, I mean, there's really not too much going on. It's been pretty quiet. I'm thankful for it. I'm very, very thankful that the weather has been very, very quiet lately. Especially for the time of now, because like I said, if you guys know or don't know, I'm moving here, so obviously I would like the severe weather to be a little bit quiet, especially whenever I'm in the process of moving, so get all that under control. I'm leaving the 7th, so the 7th I will be leaving, and I will be on the road all day the 7th. My first stream in Florida will probably be on the 8th. That's what I'm thinking. Because yeah, I have my family, they live in Florida, and I'm moving down there to be with my family, so I'm thinking the 8th will be my next live stream. I'll stream until I move. The last thing I'm going to take apart is my desk and my computer setup, so I'm going to leave this up as long as possible. So, like I said, tomorrow we're doing coverage on the bigger event overall out of the 2 days. So that is that. Tomorrow we'll be live for this here. Not really sure what time, but it seems like the evening is the overall highest. Does Indiana have a tornado risk here for Thursday and Friday? No, not right now. No, that system's gonna actually rapidly decay as we work our way down in time here. And I can actually show you that. So here's the HRRR. So the system, obviously is across like areas of, the Rockies, and actually causing some snow for those upper elevations we were talking about here. If I was to hop you guys over here to, the main screen here, you can actually see in the top left corner, that's all the accumulation of potential snowfall out there. It's really for the upper elevations, of like Wyoming and Utah and even Colorado. Those upper elevations seeing a bit of snow. I think this is actually the first decent snow for the upper elevations this year. So, we're already in October now, and it's flew by real quickly. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. This year has really flew by quick. But yeah. Snow, we're right there at that time, my friends. It's gonna start happening more and more frequently, and it's gonna start to slowly work its way more down south. So, let's see here. But yeah, no, Kayla, there's no tornado threat as of right now for those regions. You are relatively fine. Indiana, what I was wanting to show you though is that the system does rapidly decay overall. This low pressure system, the main engine, you know that. I mean, like the main driver of the severe weather is going to really shoot itself up into Canada, and that cold front's going to become pretty weak. Considering that the system is pretty far away from the mainland, so the winds are going to decrease. There's not going to be as strong winds and all of that stuff, and but it's just going to die out. And by the time it reaches those regions here, it's probably going to have little to no effects. I mean, honestly, I don't think it'll do hardly much. I mean, actually, the more I'm looking at it, it looks like a secondary pressure system, a secondary low. You see that right there? The GFS is supporting another system actually rolling through and high pressure building in across the Central Plains right there for the day I leave. Interesting. I did not actually see that beforehand. You know what? I will have to get back to you on that, actually. We're going to have to watch that. It's still, several days away, but, I mean, we're still like 4 or 5 days away. But, I mean, with a low pressure system, there's always a potential, threat there for overall, overall severe weather. Let's go ahead and actually look at this. I wonder if there's any instability available with that system. Okay, so doesn't look like it even. Yeah, it looks like instability is rather minimal. According to like the GFS, it doesn't look like there's that much energy in the atmosphere for, severe weather or anything like that. So I would have to say as of now, probably not. Probably not. Let's see. Overall, how do I think the fall severe weather will look? I think it's going to be pretty active, actually. Especially down south. I'm really thinking it's going to be pretty active down in the southeast. I mean, considering that, El Nino's, typical pattern, get that Pacific jet stream, and it brings a lot of moisture and overall more, storms and stuff like that. But personally, I really do think the South is going to be pretty active for this season. Got to really look out there for those regions there, and they call this time second spring because whenever you start introducing a lot of cold air into the atmosphere again. Right now the atmosphere is pretty warm. You got to think went through summer, went through spring. Atmosphere is relatively warm across all the levels of the atmosphere, relatively warmer. And once we start, shifting away, once there's more, less direct sunlight overall, you're going to start to get some more of that colder air pushing into the country, which is going to allow for more interactions to occur, more severe weather to happen, and all of that. So, second spring is upon us. that it is. But anyways, let's see. Thank you. I hope you have a safe and easy move. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep, but not looking forward to the loading, the unloading, and the 15-hour drive I got to do. 15 hours on the road on the 7th. Yeah, that's not going to be too fun. Definitely not looking forward to that. But you know what? It is what it is. But it's only one day. But it's definitely not too fun. Definitely not too fun. But anyways, guys, well, if y'all have any questions, hey, feel free to let us know. Like I said, this was just a quick little briefing, a quick little update. I mean, we've covered actually about everything I need to talk about regarding the activity of the weather in terms of the tropics and the severe weather. I mean, like I said, there's really just not too much going on right now other than the severe weather event that's scheduled here. It's like the first initiation in a couple of days. So, like I said, tomorrow we're going to definitely try to do some coverage for severe weather. But today, I might just take today as a packing day. I mean, okay, here's what. I might do another live stream tonight to give another update on the severe weather event as they update it. So they update the risk 2 times a day. 2 times a day, so we'll probably get a new update later on tonight. As well as tomorrow. So we'll talk about tomorrow's risk here later on today. I will probably do another live stream, like I said, to give you guys new updates and stuff like that. But anyways. But all right, you guys. Well, once again, I appreciate you all for joining us. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here overall. Once again, if y'all have any questions, feel free to join our Discord. We have that in the description. And just want to say thank you all for joining us. Let's see here. What's it going to be like in upstate? Let's see here. Is that upstate New York for the coming to the frontal passage? So the system's going to be relatively decaying by the time it rolls through. We've actually mentioned that here, that the system's going to be relatively dying out because this low pressure system is actually going to get ejected really far up into, central Canada for the most part. So there's going to be minimal effects, more than likely, for New York here out of that system. Now, whenever it comes here, let me go ahead and hop you all back over to the models real quickly. Whenever it comes to that second system here, it actually looks like we could get a decent amount of precipitation, actually. I'm talking about this system, the one that's driving severe weather, but it looks like out of some support, there could be another system, and it looks like it actually could be driving a decent amount of rain out there for the Northeast and maybe even the Ohio Valley. So we'll have to we'll keep that one in the looks, but that's going to be happening the day I leave. So I don't know. If anything happens with it, I would not be able to cover it, no matter what. So, but anyways, yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it. And then high pressure builds in across the country, which is mostly sunny for a lot of us. Mostly overall nice conditions. So, but all right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and call it a stream here. Once again, if you guys did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like. Like I said, hitting that subscribe button if you've not already. Be greatly appreciated. Once again, sorry guys, the live streams have not been too long. There hasn't been as many of them lately. Like I said, I'm just completely overwhelmed right now with all the moving process and everything like that. So it's going to be a long couple of days, a very, very active week for me. So I'm not going to be able to be here as much. But once I get settled in and everything like that, we'll resume what we're usually doing and all of that fun stuff. But all right, guys. Well, like I said, tomorrow for sure we'll do some coverage. I will try to be live here tonight. I'm thinking I'm going to do probably another update live stream tonight. We'll see how that goes, maybe around 7, 8 o'clock. We'll definitely have to do that. But all right, guys. Well, y'all take care. Once again, we love y'all. Please be safe out there. The stream's going to head off here in approximately 2 minutes. So if y'all have anything you want to go ahead and say in the chat, go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, family, anybody you're hanging out with. Go ahead and say your final goodbyes. But all right, guys. Well, once again, thank you all for joining us. Once again, we love you. Guys, please be safe out there. Like I said, there's really, not too crazy. Nothing too crazy happening except for tomorrow and possibly today. So just be safe if you're out across those regions there. But all right. Well, you guys take care, and we'll catch you guys later on. All right, y'all. See you later. Peace out.